Now, you know it's a serious headline when the figure starts with a billion. Prophet Shepherd Bushiri, yes, that Bushiri, has just announced a jaw-dropping K1.2 billion sponsorship deal with TNM Super League's Dedza Dynamos, now rebranded as Goshen City Dedza Dynamos FC. And believe me, Malawi hasn't seen a check this bold in its football scene for quite some time. This isn't just about a football club. It's a story about money, influence, faith, and ambition all crossing paths under the floodlights. The moment Bushiri stepped up to the microphone, the atmosphere changed. People stopped scrolling, journalists leaned in, and fans began asking, what does this mean for Malawi football? Tonight, we break down this K1.2 billion move into 5 big angles. What it really means, who wins, who questions it, and whether this deal is a blessing, a branding play, or both. Let's start with the numbers, because numbers don't lie, even if they make your jaw drop. Prophet Shepherd Bushiri, through his Goshen City enterprise, unveiled a K1.2 billion sponsorship package for TNM Super League side Dedza Dynamos. That's 1.2 billion kwacha, enough to fund several mid-tier clubs for years. According to the agreement, this is a 2.5-year deal, roughly 600 million kwacha per season, with the final K70 million covering the remainder of the current term. The club has officially been rebranded as Goshen City Dedza Dynamos FC. Yes, Goshen City, the same name that Bushiri uses for his multi-billion kwacha smart city project in Mongochi. This sponsorship replaces the previous partnership Dedza had with Premier Bet and injects a fresh layer of stability into a club that's been fighting to stay competitive. Bushiri called the moment a fusion of sports, vision, and community transformation, promising that this investment would go beyond goals and trophies, focusing on youth, infrastructure, and morale. If that sounds ambitious, it is. But in a football ecosystem where clubs sometimes struggle to even pay player allowances, K1.2 billion is like a thunderclap across the league. Suddenly, Dedza isn't just another club. It's a headline, a brand, and a symbol of what can happen when faith and finance shake hands. And speaking of faith, that's where this story gets even more interesting. Because make no mistake, this move isn't just financial, it's strategic. Prophet Shepherd Bushiri has always been a master of visibility, and this deal amplifies that tenfold. Think about it. Every game Dedza Dynamos plays now carries his brand name, his city project, and his reputation onto the field. That's not sponsorship, that's soft power, played out in football boots. In Malawi, football isn't just a sport. It's culture, it's emotion, and it's influence. Every fan cheering Dedza will now wear jerseys stamped with Goshen City. Every media headline about a Dynamo's victory becomes a marketing echo for Bushiri's wider business empire. Smart? Absolutely. Subtle? Not even slightly. But this isn't Bushiri's first flirtation with sports. Back in 2016, he quietly supported the national team. And in 2023, his Goshen City Trust donated 60 million kwacha to women's football, covering allowances and travel costs for the Women's National League and national team. So the man has a track record, and this new K1.2 billion deal only expands his playbook. Now, depending on who you ask, it's either divine generosity or branding genius, maybe both. Because at the intersection of faith and football, Bushiri has found a new kind of pulpit. And in this pulpit, the sermon isn't words, it's sponsorship. But of course, not everyone's applauding just yet. With big money comes big questions. Now that Malawi's building its people power, let's talk about the engine that'll drive all that energy, the digital economy. Because no matter how skilled your workforce is, you need somewhere for those skills to go. And that's exactly what the 2030 vision is trying to build, an economy where innovation doesn't just survive, it scales. Picture this, local farmers using drone data to monitor soil health, fintech platforms letting villagers make mobile payments in seconds, AI chatbots diagnosing malaria symptoms in remote clinics, and e-government portals cutting out endless lines for paperwork. That's not a sci-fi trailer. That's the ecosystem Malawi is wiring up right now. The government's Digital Malawi project, co-funded by the World Bank, is rolling out over 2,000 kilometers of fiber optic backbone while training thousands in ICT. Add to that a cybersecurity policy, e-payment legislation, and an emerging startup network supported by organizations like UNDP, and you've got a foundation built for digital commerce. But here's the kicker. Malawi's secret weapon might be its startups. These are small but fierce teams of coders, engineers, and problem solvers taking on big national headaches. From solar-powered irrigation sensors to mobile education apps, local innovators are doing what bureaucracy often can't, moving fast. And they're not alone. International investors are finally paying attention, seeing opportunity where others saw limitation. Private-public partnerships are the new power couples here. Government frameworks meeting entrepreneurial fire. Innovation hubs in Lilongwe and Blantyre are starting to look like Silicon Valley on a budget. Laptops instead of Teslas, sure, but the ambition, it's massive. Still, every revolution has its reality check. Malawi's startup scene faces a harsh funding climate. Venture capital is scarce. Regulations can lag behind innovation, and success stories are still too few to create national momentum. But the good news? The framework is in place. The Digital Economy Strategy 2024 to 2030 outlines tax incentives, startup accelerators, and open data policies to turn ideas into income. And when you look at the bigger picture, it's clear. Connectivity built the bridge. Energy lit the path. Youth brought the movement. Now innovation is the engine that keeps the journey going. The pieces are aligning, but here's the million-kwacha question. Can Malawi hold its course when global winds shift? Because for every visionary roadmap, there's a risk of derailment, corruption, mismanagement, political instability. The blueprint is solid, but execution will define everything. This decade isn't just about technology. It's about trust in governance, in leadership, and in people's ability to demand results. And that brings us to now, the heart of the analysis. So let's step back for a second. Is Malawi's 2030 tech vision realistic or just a digital daydream? Honestly, it's both. The ambition is undeniable, the strategy solid, the energy off the charts. But the clock is ticking, and 2030 isn't far away. Execution is everything. Without consistent investment, transparent governance, and real accountability, this bold future risks becoming another PowerPoint fantasy. Yet I'll tell you this, there's something different this time. This isn't a top-down vision written for donors. It's increasingly bottom-up, powered by Malawians who are done waiting for permission to innovate. The youth are restless, creative, connected, and they're pushing the country forward faster than policy can catch up. That's the real revolution. So where does that leave us? At a crossroads between potential and proof. And that's where you come in. If you've made it this far, here's your challenge. Don't just watch Malawi's future unfold. Be part of the conversation. Drop your thoughts in the comments. What's the single biggest move Malawi must make before 2030 to truly lead Africa's next tech wave? Energy, education, innovation? And if you love stories where nations rise on bold ideas and fearless people, hit that subscribe button, smash the bell, and join the GlobalPulseNewz community. We break the noise, decode the news, and deliver what others miss. Because this isn't just about Malawi's 2030 vision. It's about a continent rewriting its code, one nation at a time. And trust me, you'll want to be here when the next chapter loads. This is Belong with GlobalPulseNewz. Stay informed, stay inspired, and as always, stay ahead of the pulse.